Welcome back to the Aquarius training video series in the field visit tool. In this video, we're going to show you how to manually enter a river gauging measurement. We're going to show you how to go through panel by panel and enter in those observations to manually enter a river discharge measurement. So to start, I'm going to add a new, I'm already in field visit tool. I'm going to add a new field visit. I'll make that for today at 3:15. So we've got our new visit here. I'm going to add a new measurement activity, and this is going to be a discharge measurement. I'll leave it as undefined. So normally I would be importing the measurement from a file, but here I'm going to enter it in manually. So I'm going to click this icon over here that says manually input discharge measurement data. That pulls up our discharge measurement details window here. And here's where we can start entering details about the measurement. On this measurement setup tab, you can specify things like the initial tag point and the calculation method. Now, in some parts of the world, midsection calculation is used, and in some parts of the world, a mean section calculation method is used. Here in North America, we tend to use the midsection calculation method, so I'm going to choose that in this case. For this example, I'm going to pretend I'm doing a bridge measurement, so I'll leave this as bridge. And you can put in your open conditions and a few notes here if you want to. I'm going to switch to the measurement details tab here, where we can start entering in panel data. Now for the first panel, this isn't a real panel. I'm just going to enter in the tagline position to start at say 2 meters. And I'm not going to enter any panel data for that one. To add another panel, to move to the next one, I'll click the green button here again. Now I'm on panel 2 of 2. I'll set my tagline position to 3 for this panel. My measurement is going to be at 0.6 of the depth, so I'm going to set this here to 1 point at 0.6. Let's say for this panel, the water sounding depth was at 5.12 meters, and the distance to the water was 4.52 meters. And I'm going to set a dry line angle. Say the angle of my line from straight down was 2 degrees. And I'm going to put in my meter counted 40 times. And there we have a depth of 0.53 meters, and it's computed the velocity for me here. You can see as a result of my dry line angle that I entered here, a dry line correction of 1 centimeter has been calculated. And we don't have enough depth in the water to there be a noticeable wetline correction. But if this was deep enough, and if there was some angle, then a wetline correction here would be calculated. So to add another panel, I'll click this green icon again here. I'm now on the third panel. And for this panel, I'll set my tagline position to 4 meters. I'll set a water sounding depth of 6 meters for this panel, and again the distance to the water surface remains the same, 4.52 meters. I'm going to set a dry line angle again of 2 degrees, and I'll say on this one I counted 47 clicks, and there's our computed velocity and the depth as calculated from the sounding depth and the distance to water. So that's the third panel. I'll enter one more here. And this one will be at 5 meters. And as the panels get a little bit deeper, you might want to switch to the 0.2, 0.8 method here. So I'll take a 2 point, and you'll notice that there's now 2 places for me to enter in meter counts. So I'll put in a sounding depth. Say this one was 7.1 meters. The distance to the water surface, again, 4.52 meters. And I'll put in a dry line angle again of 2. And this time I'll put in a count of 42 here for each 40 seconds, and 47 counts again in in 40 seconds. And there's a calculated depth and velocity. Notice over here that if I, for whatever reason, I wanted to switch meters in the middle of the measurement, I can go over here and switch which meter equation I want to use. Well, actually, I would go over here and choose which meter I want to use. Now, the meters, you can, if you have more than a couple meters, you can customize that by going in this button here and editing the meter equations for specific meters. You can add a new one by right-clicking here and saying Insert Meter. So you can change the meter equation, and doing so will change the computed velocity over here. So notice that as I enter in these panels and I go back to the to the Summary Result tab, you can see that the graphical display of the panels and my velocity profile is starting to fill in here. See that last panel, I made two observation points here. So on the Measurement Details tab, I would continue on and enter in all my panels one by one. And when I was done, I would just close this window here, and it would ask me if I want to save, and I would say yes, of course. And you can see here that these observations have been added to this measurement activity, including my discharge. Of course, it's not a complete discharge measurement. I haven't entered in all the panels yet. And if I wanted to go in there, I could hit this blue Measurement Details icon and keep adding more panels until I've fully entered the measurement. Be sure you click Save to save your measurement activity in field and your field visit before exiting the field visit tool.